That they got a bunch of dogs. I know that they value what they have up front. I know that they got stars at every level of the defense. And I know that they brought me in to stop the run. They brought me in to be a big, dominant physical presence on the inside, and it's just my job to do that, you know?
Alright guys, that was Mazi Smith. This is Fus the King. I can't wait to get into this video. Here's a full 7-round recap of the Dallas Cowboys 2023 draft class. Now, before I really get into the meat and potatoes of this video, I just want to say that Cowboys fans have to remember a few things. Will McClay, Stephen Jones, that scouting department has earned the right to draft with a plan, right? Certain picks that even I may have questioned, they have earned the right to say, hey, we have a plan for said player. This is what we're going to do. They've hit on players like Tyler Smith when nobody thought that was a good pick. They've hit on players like Micah Parsons. Well, why would you draft an off-ball linebacker who didn't play for a year? They've hit consistently later in the draft. They did some things yesterday and this weekend that make you say, this is how they tied the whole body of work together. So before I even get started, I wanted to make sure that I hit that point. That front office has earned the right to say, hey, this isn't Tristan Hill. You know, this isn't Gavin Escobar. These guys can play. We have a plan. Let's talk about it. So, pick 26, Mazi Smith, defensive tackle, Michigan. You heard it, the first video that I played, the first kind of sound bite that I played. Mazi Smith knows what he was brought in to do. I don't think that there's anything better than a player who, and just how well spoken he is, he knows exactly what his role will be. Two-gap, help stop the run. That was the first thing he said. Not trying to get sacks, and they actually believe that he has the upside to be a sack guy. The movement is crazy. You see Bruce Feldman has him #1 on his freak list. He's able to bench 325 25 times. That's incredible. So he is a player with brute strength. You watch the Ohio State game. You watch the Purdue game. You watch the Michigan State game. You watch the Penn State game. He's literally a wrecking ball. But on this defense with Dan Quinn, and you heard how he even said, you know, DQ has a plan for me. I'm going to come in and do whatever DQ wants me to do first, and then I'll continue to grow within my role. Osa, other said players jumped in and spoke to him and those types of things. They know how much he's going to help this defense. The linebackers know how much he's going to help this defense. So I believe that that was a really good pick, a planned pick, okay? Round 2, Luke Schoonmaker. The physical theme. That was the theme of this draft. Physical, big, athlete. Now, with Schoonmaker, this was Mike McCarthy's pick. Everybody around the nation from ESPN to NFL Network is probably going to grade this a bad draft. Just be ready. They're going to say Dak Prescott needed to get help. He needed receivers. He needed this, that, and third. He needed a running back early. Hell, a lot of fans will probably believe that. Why didn't we get Dak the help that he needs, this, that, and third? Well, you got to remember, you got him Brandon Cooks. That's one of your draft picks. Stephon Gilmore, that's another one of your draft picks. Schoonmaker is a Mike McCarthy special. I believe that he wants to live in 12. They already believe that he's a better athlete and probably better at the point of attack than Jake Ferguson. Ferguson might probably be a better receiver. Who knows? We'll see how that pans out. And probably better wiggle after the catch. But I believe that Schoonmaker's ability to be a wide player, an inline player, can play some fullback, can lead block, can insert on linebackers and doesn't give up anything. You watch him. I was watching the TCU game. You watch him play outside zone and do those types of things and then crack down and do, man, he has some really good hands as a blocker, right? And you don't think that, well, why would I draft a blocking tight end this high? Well, he's more than a blocking tight end. That's what Michigan used him for. I think that Dallas will have a different plan for him, and I think that he will be a safety net, a safety blanket. But they went into this draft with the plan saying, hey, we want to get a tight end. We want to live in 12 personnel. We want to make those defenses declare what they want to do. If they want to play soft, we're going to run the football. I like the Schoonmaker pick. Initially, I was confused. I'm not going to sit here and be Benedict Arnold and say, oh, well, initially they had other players on the board, maybe a guard. They didn't grade the guards a certain way. So Mike McCarthy literally came out and said, hey, we want to run him up the middle of the field, post, these types of things. We want to stress linebackers out after we run the football. I like it. Round 3, pick 90, DeMarvion Overshown. To me, this is another Dan Quinn special. Former safety, you just drafted Mazi Smith. Now you're going to let athletes like DeMarvion run to the football. That's it. That's all. I saw a poor man's Terrell Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine. Try saying that a bunch of times. I saw a poor man's Tremaine Edmonds. Kind of lanky, great athlete, but is physical. Now, how many times have I said physical throughout this video? Physical player. Runs to the ball and is a missile. That former safety background is kind of interesting because his instincts aren't the best. I'm not going to sit here and say that he has the best instincts. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's your future Mike Backer. But I will say, if you want to keep him in the middle of your defense, or not in the middle of your defense, but if you want to keep him as a will linebacker, keep him free. I think that this is going to say, Jabril may not be in your plans. It just is what it is. I think that he's an upgrade from Anthony Barr, right? And I think that if you just let him run to the ball, year 1, he's going to run to the ball, he's going to blitz. Don't give him too much on his plate. Year 1, he runs to the ball, he blitzes. He has some good production in Texas. Go watch the Alabama game. He blitzed well. He has some warts, but you fix those and you coach those up. And Dan Quinn wanted this player, and they have a plan for the player. Round 4, pick 129. This was my favorite pick of the draft. One of them, well, Deuce Vaughn obviously is a fan favorite. This is one of my favorite picks of the draft. I'm going to struggle for this. Fehoko, we're just going to call him Junior Fehoko, San Jose State DN. I want to keep him at DN. I'm just going to say that now. I see the physicalness with his hands, the way he tackles. I want to keep him at DN. He runs. He's so physical. He's so angry. I think he's what you wanted Bradley and I to be. I think that he's that already. Mountain West first team all defense, 4-year starter. This guy can play. I've been going through his film. Like, I didn't really sleep last night just how much film I watched on this player. I don't want to make him a 3-tech. That's just me. I know the Cowboys may want to do that. I want to make him extend, play the run defense end, maybe kick Golston inside on running down, stuff like that. Hankins and obviously Mazi. But again, here goes that theme, physicalness. But Junior Fehoko can play, guys. He's the cousin of Vita Vea. This guy brings a grit that we need on this defensive line. Round 5, Asim Richards. I graded him as a tackle. I think the Dallas wants to kick him inside as a guard. Philly native. All my homies in Philly, believe it or not, I do actually have friends in Philly, y'all. They're saying, yo, you guys got a great, gritty, hardworking kid, was heavy on the basketball scene, went to North Carolina to play football. He is a square-built player. Square-built player. He's more strong than powerful. He more anchors than he moves you. But I think that you could develop him into the guard that you want him to be. I believe that, and you heard the O-line coach come out and say they want to just get their best 5 on the field. I believe that Tyler Smith is going to stay at tackle. They like him at tackle. I believe that Richards, we kept getting wiped out at guard. Not early, but they didn't like Torrance. They didn't like those guys, and that's they graded like that. We have to respect that, right? But Richards is a guy they did like. I had Richards and Jalen Duncan kind of tags touching. They went Richards before him. I like the pick. I think that he develops into your guard. I don't know if he'll be there day 1 as your guard, but I think he develops into a nice player at guard. Round 6, Eric Scott. To me, I had nothing on him. I'm not going to act like I did. Pick 178. All I know is that he pulled his quad during his 40. So people were saying that don't believe that 4.71. That's not him. He's more of a 4.3 guy. Long athlete. The Cowboys coveted him. I think this is going to be a special teams. This is a special teams. This is one of Fossil's guys. So that's really what I'm going to say on him. I haven't even got to his film, so I'm not going to act like I did. Pick 212. The one that everybody wants to talk about, and I do too, is Deuce Vaughn. I'm going to say this now. Deuce Vaughn is going to make this team. He's just that electric. You saw it against Alabama. You saw it against Oklahoma. You saw it against TCU. This isn't a feel-good story. We're not drafting you because your dad works in the scouting department. That's all well and good, but the guy can actually play. There are people who had a 3rd-round grade on him. You can't draft him because of his size, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. No, he can play. You can't look at his size and let that deter you from the athlete that he is. He's a great athlete. Now, he only ran a 4.6. He has short legs, let's be honest. But he is way quicker than fast. He is way quicker than fast. He has way more vision than people give him credit for. He sets people up with his moves and space. He's just like it's like literally trying to chase a mouse, but in a good way. And he's physical. Like he didn't miss games. He didn't get hurt. He didn't lay down on the ground. 43 touchdowns against Power 5 schools. This guy can play. I think these were the picks that tied the draft together. Oh, you need to get Dak Prescott help. Well, you know what? They believe in Jalen Tolbert. They believe in Brandon Cooks. Another running back that can come in and give you some juice and be a fun player and get the Cowboys fans into it and really is a good player, though. Now, he's not going to give you much in the blocking game. He can maybe cut you, certain things like that, but that's okay. I really believe that Deuce Vaughn is going to make this team and play a role for the Dallas Cowboys. Round 7, pick 244, last pick of the draft for the Cowboys, Jalen Brooks. I think this was one where McCarthy said, let's take a flyer on the size. Was second on the Gamecocks last year from South Carolina. He was second on the Gamecocks last year in receiving, 504 yards in 2022. So him and Spencer Rattler had a nice little connection. He could play special teams ace. Don't know if he makes the team, but I think that he has an opportunity to. And I think that this is how you kind of make the whole draft make sense. Deuce Vaughn, and then and Hunter Lukey. Deuce Vaughn and Lukey. And we got a few other really good undrafted free agents. But Hunter and Lukey Deuce and Lukey kind of tied this whole draft together. Physical, physical, physical. We want to stop the run. We want to run the ball. That's the way the Dallas wants to play football. Again, you were a 12. How many wins do we have? 12, 13 win last year? We won a lot of games. The Cowboys didn't have many holes on their roster. But these guys can all come in day one and play a great role. Again, I just want people to slow down. Don't freak out because I'm telling you now, these guys are going to play a huge role. I mean that. Huge role. Mazi Smith, huge role. Schoonmaker, huge role. Deuce Vaughn, huge role. Dallas went in with the plan. They had guys targeted on their board. No, their board didn't match a lot of us. That's okay. But I really like this draft, and I think that they hit the needs that they need to hit, and that's stopping the run. We're going to run the football well, trust me, but being able to stop the run. 12 personnel, take the ball out of Dak's hands. Let's run the ball. Let's play outstanding defense. Now you have a defense that can play outstanding. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you guys for rocking with me throughout this whole weekend. I think I'm going to have Okoye on the channel tonight. We're going to talk about why he was so high on Mazi Smith and he ended up calling that pick. So, it's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Peace.